Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Self Love Saturday, everybody. Welcome to Success My Way Coaching with me, Dr. Lakisha, your life coach and destiny cheer captain, helping you with all 12 areas of your life and just being a good friend. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I hope you are enjoying your Saturday. Some of you are just waking up like Angie. Hi, Angie. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Some of you have been up and you've been milling around, and you probably just had me in the background so you can hear my voice. So, all of this is great. So glad to be here. I'm wondering how your week was. So, if you're with me, say hello in the chat. Tell me about your week. We are going to be talking about getting back to your true self, the one that you lost in childhood. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this. I have taken a lot of notes, but at the end of the day, I'm excited to be on this journey of happiness. That's what this series is about. It's about the science of happiness, right? So we started last week. So if you didn't get to look at last week's video, it was the signs of a happy person. You want to go over there. And I talk a little bit about the science of happiness over there as well. And then today on this video, we're going to move from the signs of a happy person to uh, getting back to your true self. And that is a sign of a happy person too. Happy people are their authentic selves, not just in adulthood. They are their authentic selves, the self that was born. So we're going to talk about that today. So come on in the room. I do have a couple of announcements. While I'm making these announcements, go ahead and get your pen and paper out because these videos be giving out some gems. Good morning, Janet. Thanks for joining. I gotta show y'all my cup today without trying to spill it because it's to the brim. This is my Success My Way coaching cup today, and I wanted to match my shirt. This is merch that you can purchase on my channel as well. So if you go to the shop section of my channel, you can purchase official Success My Way coaching merch. So make sure you go and do that as well. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is our virtual summer camp. If you have not signed up, make sure you sign up for our virtual summer camp. It is fun for adults. We just don't have a lot of fun. Maybe this course is trying to get you back to your true self. Okay, but we are going to be doing a crafting exercise, and we're also going to be coloring. If you sign up, you get all the directions for the crafting, you get all the directions for the coloring. It doesn't take a lot. And if some of y'all just watching my nails, I have been painting. I have been painting my kitchen, and this nail had to go. It had to go. I haven't been painting the walls. I was painting the cabinets, and I'm realizing that painting cabinets is a bit much. But I will be revealing my new painted kitchen on my other channel, Lakisha Loves to Plan. So make sure you go over there so you can see how different my kitchen is. I usually do decorating videos over there, along with planning videos and hauls. And I'm redecorating. I'm repainting my cabinets. I'm not redecorating yet. But I'm getting ready for fall and Christmas because if you know me, Christmas is my jam. We are in the middle of Christmas in July right now. So look at that channel too for some more Christmas in July videos. So those are those announcements. I have a virtual summer camp coming up. It's going to be on July 24th, Monday, July 24th at 7 p.m. We go for an hour and a half, like from like 7 to 8:30. But it's going to be fun. We're going to do giveaways. We're going to do crafting. We're going to do coloring. It's just going to be fun. So hopefully you can join us. And then I have the last camp session will be in August 24th, where we make financial vision boards, the Success My Way, which is different than most. Okay. And then coming up at the end of September is another Success My Way Academy. I'm so excited, y'all. We're starting academies back up in the fall. I stopped doing them over the summer just because people are so busy, but we're starting them up in the fall. Success My Way Academy is coming September 30th. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I can get some alumni to come on and talk to you. So I'm really excited about that as well. Oh, you're watching Christmas movies on Hallmark? Me too. Yes, I actually think Hallmark actually no, I think maybe QVC. Either QVC or Hallmark started the Christmas in July stuff. I don't know which one, but one of those consumer places started this, and I'm so glad they did. I'm just saying. I'm so glad they did. It brings a little joy of Christmas in the summer, and I always enjoy it. So, yes, I have been watching Christmas movies like crazy. So, Janet, tell me which one is your favorite one? Oh, I love all of them. I love all of them. I'm getting into Lifetime Christmas movies too. Those don't come. Those don't. The Lifetime Christmas movies don't start until like October or whatever. But I like Lifetime Christmas movies too. Angie said it has to be Hallmark, right? Exactly. Right. All of them, yours too. Not the same way. I like all the Christmas movies. All right, y'all. So hopefully you have your pen and paper out. Um, for some strange reason, last night I could not find my Success My Way journal. I don't know what I did with it. So I had to write in this black journal, but nevertheless, just have some a pen and paper to write because we're going to talk about 10 ways to get back to your true self, the one you lost in childhood. Now, I'm going to start off with saying, I did not make this up. This information came from Psych Central. So if you want to go on Google, you want to Google Psych Central and True Self, you can do that. Okay, so what is the true self? What is the true self? The true self is an integrity based, emotionally rewarding life. Okay, I'm going to say it again. What is the true self? The true self is an integrity based, emotionally rewarding life. That's what we all are striving for, or at least I hope everybody's striving for, to live with great integrity with yourself. You know, I talk about this in Success My Way Academy, how it's important to have integrity with yourself. But this concept, I think, is a little deeper in that it's talking about integrity with your original self. Okay. That's why I think the true self part comes in when you're talking about having integrity with your original self. Come on, y'all. We about to get deep with this topic. So your true self is your core essence. It's your core essence. It's the you before you came to this earth, is who God said you were before you were born. That's your true self. And getting back to that takes work. So when I get into the 10 strategies, it's actually the 10 strategies are not like tips. It's actually a progression of a process. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It says we disconnect from our core essence to please people we are dependent on. We may do this out of responsibility. We may do this as a survival tactic. Um, or we just may do this because we feel like it's what we're supposed to do based on societal norms, So you want to think about that for a minute. Like, what have you done? What have you done against your core essence for the sake of society's sake, like society, to make society happy? Or what have you done to change who you are to please somebody? You ever get in somebody's presence and you can't be yourself? You ever do that? Do you ever get in somebody's presence and you can't be yourself? The question is, instead of beating yourself up, have integrity with yourself. Say, you know what? Why every time I get around this person, I can't be myself? What is happening? Start being inquisitive about yourself, because those things will tell you what's going on and it will help you to reclaim your true self. Angie said, I used to do that all the time. Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm still like, even today, like, if I find myself not being my true self, I will definitely like question that. Like, what in this moment, what situation, what person is causing me not to want to be my true self in this moment? Like, just analyzing that. Where is everyone on vacation? Yes, I'm sure they are, Janet. That's why Success by Way Academy starts in the fall. But nevertheless, the replay is all will always be here. I would get so nervous around certain people. Yes, yes, absolutely. So if that happens again, Angie, you want to ask yourself, like, why am I getting nervous? Start asking the question instead of just saying, I'm nervous. That's not helping. What will help is say, why am I so nervous around this person? Because that is going to let you know what the issue is, and then you can proceed from there. So a lot of us have taken on these personas of ourselves from childhood, from our family, from our friends, because we've been labeled. We've been labeled. Some of us have taken on roles in our social settings. So you may have taken on a role of hero. You may have taken on the role of the black sheep. You may have taken on a role of the clown. All of these roles you took on as a child to fit in and to please people that you were dependent on. Um, you may even taken on a role of caregiver. I know a lot of women in particular, take on the role of caregiver, and that role never stops. And then they burn themselves out and they get sick and all kinds of things because they have taken on this role and never let go of this role. Um, so these are things you don't beat yourself up if you had to go through these things, because these are things that cause you to survive. But there's some point in your life where you are going to say, I'm tired of these roles. There's some point in your life where you're going to say, I'm tired of being somebody, not my authentic self. I want to be my authentic self all the time. I say that all the time. I am tired of not being my authentic self. Somebody I love who's always their authentic self, and I actually learned from this person, is Tabitha Brown. Tab. She calls herself Tab. Tabitha Brown. I like what she has made her platform out to be, is that I'm going to be my authentic self. I don't care if you don't like the way I dress. I don't care if you don't like my hair. I don't care if you don't like my relationship with my husband. She don't care. And that is her reclaiming her true self. She has a t-shirt that I'm going to get. She has a t-shirt called Freedom from Code Switching. Freedom from Code Switching. I'm going to get that t-shirt because my authentic self likes to play with language. I don't like to speak King's English all the time. That's not how I grew up. And it doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. Good God, I'm a doctor, for God's sake. It doesn't mean I'm unintelligent because I don't speak the King's English. I like speaking the way I speak. I want freedom from having to change the way I speak for some people. Come on. All right. So I like talking the way I talk. So I want freedom from code switching. I don't want to switch the code just because I think you can't handle me. I'm tired of that. So this is just like an example of reclaiming, rediscovering who you are, your true self, and then committing back to that, recommitting to that true self that you had in your childhood. Angie said, yes, I can see some things of that when I was growing up. Yes, yes, like being labeled and having your role. Absolutely, Angie. So I want you all to answer this question. This question that says, around which people do you feel most yourself? Like, answer that question right now. Like, think about that. Around which people do you feel most yourself? Um, Around which people do you feel most creative? Around which people do you feel most spontaneous and most alive? You need to analyze that. Like, what does being around this person do for you? And why is it a positive, freeing experience for you? That can tell you a lot. That can tell you a lot. Janice says family. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing. Yes, Janet, for some people, family is safety emotionally. Family is emotional safety. For other people, family is emotional turmoil. So it is different for everyone. And so that's why getting back to your true self takes some work, because you have to figure out what works for you. Just like fingerprints, just like the leaves on a tree. None of us are the same. We're all unique. And so we all have unique experiences as well. Your family doesn't judge. Yes. Oh, that's so good, Janet. That's so good. So I'm quite sure that you want to hang around your family a lot. Like, if I was around somebody who let me be creative, who let me be me, I like being around them. I don't want to be around anybody else. When I get around people I can't be my authentic self with, I run. I run. I get out. I'm like, bye, bye. um, and then now I want you to ask the question the other way. Around which people or situations or circumstances do you feel uncomfortable, restrained, or inhibited? Around which people do you feel uncomfortable, restrained, or prohibited? Because that is going to tell you about your true self as well. That is going to tell you your true self as well. Um, for me, I think I feel I probably feel the most uncomfortable around strangers, just because I don't know them and they don't know me. I really try to work to, if I'm like working with a colleague, or if I have family and friends around, I really try to be around them a lot so they can learn me and I can learn them. But I probably feel my most uncomfortable around strangers. So that's probably, now I'm asking why, and now I can diagnose it. That's probably because um I am a I am the type of person that has to know somebody to really understand them and to feel safe that they understand me. So strangers bring that bit of discomfort. But I also work to change strangers into friends really fast. So I think that's how I solve that problem. I try to change strangers into friends really fast. But that's just an example of using this kind of questioning to try to figure out what your true self is. Um, so it says, if you are ready to shed anything that's false and live fearlessly from a place of emotional honesty. I like that. I want to do that. I want to live fearlessly from a place of emotional honesty. Um, and personal integrity. So this has to do with something else I teach in Success My Way Academy about what are your values? What are your principles? What do you stand for? What do you believe? You have to live from that place instead of from the role that you were given. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. You have to live from a place of your values, of your beliefs, of your principles. You have to live from that place instead of living from the place of the roles that other people have given you. Um, yes, I agree. That feels safe for someone. Yes, yes. So, so my goal today is to help you get to lead you to the path. My goal today is to lead you to the path for you to get direct knowledge of your true self, for you to start the path of rediscovering your core essence that you were born with, and this understanding and embracing your authentic self, or I should say your authentic original self. And I'm putting original in there on purpose because a lot of us say, "Oh, I'm my authentic self." Well, you may be your authentic self for this situation in this moment, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your original self from when you were born. Are you that authentic self? Okay. So that's what we're going to go to right now with these 10 strategies. All right. So I normally don't have, I don't know what Linda is. She's normally on here taking notes, but I do have 10. I have 10. And they're pretty long statements, but they take you through a process. Remember, these 10 are going to be different from what I normally do. I normally just read off tips, but this is actually a process from start to finish. It's like a 10-step process. Can you say that again? Morals, values. Yes. That's right, Angie. That's right. Um, all right, let's go. Number one, the first thing you have to do in this path of recognizing or getting back to your true self is recognize you have a true self nature. So you have to also believe or understand that you are an original model from God. You are an original model from God, and everything and everybody has something unique to offer to the world. So recognizing that you are unique, you are an original model. Like I think it's so miserable when people feel they have to copy somebody else. Why are you copying somebody when God made you an original? So you have to get back to that original model of yourself and recognize that it's there and be okay with it and be okay with that original model. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate you so much. Angie's writing them in the comments for me. I appreciate you. That's the first step. Okay. The second step is you have to remember and reflect on your happiness in childhood. You have to remember and reflect on your happiness in childhood. So, um, a lot of people don't have too many happy moments in their childhood. Some people have a lot of happy moments. It just depends on how you grew up. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you had a lot of unhappy moments. It doesn't matter if you had a lot of happy moments. In this step of getting back to your true self, you have to pull out those happy moments. All of us had some sort of happy moments as a child. So you're going to remember and reflect on your happiness as a child. So once you recognize that you are an original model, let's go back. Now it's time to go back to your childhood. Um, and you can ask yourself questions like, in my childhood, when did I feel the most free? What was the most freeing part of my childhood? And when I was taking my notes on this, I was actually asking my own self these questions. I was like, okay, when was my most happiest moments? And I can say my happiest moments in childhood had to do with when I was being creative. And in my adulthood, I know I like planning. I know I like Christmas. I know I like painting my cabinets. But I was like, okay, this makes sense because doing these things bring me back to my freedom that I felt in childhood. It makes sense. In childhood, I felt free when I was creative. Ask yourself this question. In your childhood, when were you the most happy? When were you the most happy? I can say I was the most happy when I was in a happy environment. When I was in a happy environment, when I saw people smiling and laughing, when I saw people having a good time, I was the most happy. And in my adulthood, I love creating those environments. I love bringing people together in happy environments. And I'm like, oh man, that's connected to my childhood. And another question you can ask yourself is, when did you feel most alive in your childhood? When did you feel most alive in your childhood? Alive, like invigorated, like you're here for a reason. Um, and I can say probably as a child, maybe when I was um Maybe when I was leading something I liked doing. Like like, for example, I was captain of the cheerleaders in high school, and when we wait, I would say leading people with good results, because when we would win competitions, when we would win cheerleading competitions, oh my God, I would feel so alive. And knowing that I was the captain of the cheerleaders and we just came in first place, so leading people to results. So that has carried me into my childhood. I like results. I finish things. My personality is I'm a finisher. You know how some people personality, they start stuff and don't finish? That's not my personality. I am a finisher because I like to see the results, because that brought me some joy in my childhood. Okay. So go back to your childhood and ask yourself those questions. When were you the most free? When were you the most happy? When did you feel most alive? Those are the questions you can ask yourself to remember and reflect. Reflect on what gave you joy. Go back to your earliest memories. Now, you probably have to like close your eyes and meditate on this a little bit, because I know some adults who cannot go back to their childhood, probably because it was trauma filled. But if you can go back to the earliest, happiest memories, that'd be great. And let me tell you something. This is work. This is work. It's not easy to do this for some people. This is a lot of work. And then you're going to write about them. Make sure you write these things down. Write about the places, the people, the things, the situations that really made you happy and gave you joy, and then connect with that. All right. That was number two. Number three. Number three is, once you recognize your true self, once you start to remember and reflect, now you're going to make a commitment to recover and reconnect. I love these words. I love that word, recover. Recover it. So now you know the things that made you happy as a child. It's time for you to recover those things. It's time for you to reconnect with the joy that you got from those things. It's time for you to get back to that really pure, that pure light that was in you when you were innocent, and when you were a child. Now you're going to make a commitment to connect to that innocent, pure, innate, authentic self. Isn't that exciting? To me, that's just so exciting. To It's like you've been on a journey, and then it's like you're going back. It's like full circle, almost like you're going back to when you started and when you were born. That's exciting to me. Um, so you're going to embrace what you never lost. That's what getting back to your authentic self is that the good news is you never lost your authentic self. You never lost it. It's always been there. And what we do is we either repress it, or we don't stay true to it, or we ignore it for whatever reason. But it is time to reclaim it. It's time to get back to the thing that has been lying dormant in you all this time. I like the way in the article they said it's an excavation project. The excavation project. You know how you have the little kids and they have all the sand and they have the tools and they're trying to excavate some little rocks or play dinosaurs in their little dinosaur kit. That's what I imagine, like the excavation process, the digging down deep in the dirt to find your treasure, right? To find your treasure. Um, so yeah, so you're gonna make a commitment, you're gonna recover, you're gonna uncover, you're gonna discover, you're gonna reclaim, you're gonna do all these things. Um, and you're going to find that these things have always been with you your whole entire life. They've never changed. So you're going to make a commitment to becoming your true self. That's number three. So once you have made a commitment, number four, now you're going to make a decision. You're going to make a decision to release all the false feelings that no longer serve you. You're going to make a decision to release all the false feelings that no longer serve you. Now we're getting deep in the process, y'all. Remember, I said this is in order. This is in order. You want to do these things in order. Um, Releasing these things that you were conditioned to, first of all, y'all, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to unclaim your role in your family, or to unclaim your role in your social circle, or to unclaim what societal norm says you are. Is going to be a process. Like for me, I am unique. I know I'm unique. I know without a doubt I am unique, because the way I grew up and the way I live now, for some people, is not normal socially, right? So who got a room full of llamas? Like, no adult, no grown adult has a room full of llamas. But that's okay. That's okay. Um, I had to be okay with that. I had to be okay with knowing that what I like, everybody else not gonna like, and I'm not gonna try to force. I don't force people to like what I like. I know some people who need that control. They need to be around people who like what they like. They need to be around people who do what they do. I've never been like that, and I'm not like that now. I actually honor difference. Like, if you are different from me, I honor that. So, in honoring that in others is because I honor that in myself. I always say, if you're a judgmental people, or if you're a judgmental person, is because you are judgmental of yourself. And if you are an open person, is because you're open with yourself. So the same thing here. You have to be willing to be open to release the conditioning that you've been in. Um, and even in your family, even in your culture, a lot of people are really tied to the traditions of their culture. But some people don't want to be tied to a tradition of a culture, and that's their prerogative. So you have to make a decision to get rid of your false self. Your false self is the facade that you put on to be included. For whatever reason you decided to do that, you have to be willing to decide to release that. Okay. All right. I hope y'all feeling all right out there. All right. The next one. So once you make a commitment, once you make a decision, number 5 is, now what you're going to do is you're going to let go. Let it go. Let it go. You're going to frozen it. You're going to let it go. So once you realize the falseness, you're going to let it go. Because if you don't let it go, you will be tied to it, and it will burden you. It will burden you. So the question is, are the things in your life serving you at the highest level today? And if they're not, let it go. I'm going to say that again. If you have things in your life that are not serving you at the highest level, let it go. This helps you become your true self, because your true self, it means you're operating at your highest, best level. So you got to let go of anything that's below that. Okay? You got to let go of anything that's below your highest, best level. So what are the things? You write them down. Write them down. Write down the things that are in your life that are not serving you at the highest and best level. Write them down and then work to let them go. It says here, it serves no one, not even your loved ones, when you remain small, diminish your light, and hide your truth from others. I love this statement. I want to read it again. It says, it serves no one, not you, not the people you love, not anybody, when you remain small, when you diminish your light, and when you hide your true self from others. Come on, y'all. You're not serving anybody with that. So actually, when you hide your true self, you're doing a disservice to yourself and the ones around you. You think you're serving them by changing, but actually, you're not serving them. You have to be your true self in order to serve the people around you correctly. All right. Number 6. Okay. This is where the turning point I see in the steps coming in number 6, okay? So once you've done all 5 of those things, now here comes number 6. And I'm going really slow, but if you go through this process really, it'll probably be faster than this. But I'm going so also people go to therapists to go through these processes too. All right. Number 6. The only way out is through. That's number 6. The only way out is through. So that means that you are going to have to face all of the demons from your childhood to go back there and pull out the happy moments means you may have to go back and pull out those negative moments. The moments when you were emotionally wounded, or you've had the trauma, or you've had sadness. You may have to go through those things. Just imagine you going through a dark forest. You may have to go through the dark forest in order to uncover the light. Come on, y'all. And guess what? The dark forest has a purpose. It's there. There's no reason to be ashamed of the dark forest. There's no reason to feel guilty. Give yourself grace in the dark forest. The dark forest is going to be there, and the dark forest had its purpose for whatever reason. I believe everything has a purpose, whether good or bad. But you won't have to sift through that stuff and go through. And so it is important for you to, if this is a heavy thing for you to do, if it's heavy, you got to go through with a professional. So you can go through that with a life coach. You can go through that with a licensed therapist. Okay. And you may come across, you in that dark forest, you may walk past sadness. In that dark forest, you may walk past anxiety and depression to get to resurfacing and rediscovering your true self. You may have to go through that dark forest. And if you need somebody to go through that with, invest in yourself and do that. I do it all the time. Um, I'm a life coach and leadership coach. So my process has to be very serious with myself because I can not at all show up my authentic self for my clients by and not go through my own dark forest to see my own light. I can't do it. I can't do it because I have integrity with myself. So just to let you know, everybody has to go through this. And there's always a light at the end of the forest. I'm going to say that what I experienced in my life is that the dark forest never just remains permanently. It's temporary, and I have to go to my happiness, and everything is temporary, and I manage it all. I manage it all. So I tell people, you know what? Sometimes you may feel like, you know, that you can't get out of something, that you're in too deep, but you can try to manage and do some things to have those light. You can see the light. Some people are into the light and they go back in the dark forest. Some people in the dark forest and they go back into the light. And that's called managing, right? So I want to encourage you, don't give up. Fight, don't give up. Fight through that dark forest. Don't give up and sleep in the dark forest. Walk through the dark forest. Okay. All right. Number 7. Number 7. Thank you so much, Angie, for writing these down. Number 7 is release old pent up feelings from childhood. So now that you understand these emotional wounds from childhood, it's time to release those. I like the way it says courage includes the word rage. I was like, you know what? That's so true. I didn't figure that out. Courage includes the word rage. Why didn't I see that in that word before this moment? I was like, courage, it does include the word rage. What's that? It says you have to successfully pass through the dark night and your negative emotions. So uh releasing old pent up feelings from childhood takes courage, and sometimes you may experience rage and going through the process. So I like that. That was interesting. All right, number 8. Number 8 is pay attention to your dreams. All right, this is my favorite. Pay attention to your dreams. I think it's really sad when I meet people who stop dreaming. There's some people in this world who gave up. They gave up on their true selves. They gave up on, what really makes them happy and just settled. And for me, that is very sad. Because we should pay attention to our dreams and we should never stop dreaming. So there's some questions here too that you can ask yourself. Like, what is your active imagination? What do you actively imagine? When you close your eyes and think of like the best place to be, what is that? Where is that? And how can you just tap into that active imagination and hold it tight and keep it with you and manifest it? Okay. You ever heard that phrase, thoughts become reality? I think this is true for Hollywood because like Hollywood, they always have movies that seemingly that is like fiction, but it becomes fact like a couple years later. It's almost like whatever somebody thinks up in a movie, it ends up coming to pass. It's just kind of weird. But anyway, active imagination can become your reality. So start with your active imagination. Did you miss 8? Oh, yes. 8 is pay attention to your dreams, Angie. Yes, 8. Pay attention to your dreams. Yep. Ask yourself, what is your active imagination? Ask yourself, what is your fantasy? What do you be daydreaming? It's like, oh my gosh, I wish I was on a beach with some water. What is your fantasy? Like, pay attention to that because that gives you an indication of where your true self lies. What are your night dreams? Like, what do you dream when you sleep? That gives you some indication of your true self as well. It can give you some indication of your true self. So I want you to kind of pay attention more to your own self. Pay attention more so to your thoughts than anything. Your thoughts, your dreams, what you daydream about, what are your fantasies, what are your wishes? Pay attention to your wishes. Don't be like, oh man, I wish I could be an astronaut. Well, that has something connected. That's connected to your true self if you wish you want to be an astronaut. So pay attention to yourself. I want you to do that. And what the article says is that these things, these thoughts, they reveal a key to you. And these are the compass to you rediscovering your true self. So these things actually point you to the direction of who your true self really is, because a lot of people don't even know who their true self really is. So these are some tactics or some questions you can ask yourself to understand who you are authentically. Okay, if you're having a hard time with that. All right. Thank you, Angie. All right, Angie, we're on number 9. Number 9 is release the limiting view of others. Release the limiting views of others with the S. Sorry. Release the limiting views of others. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is my favorite too. You cannot get back to your true self people pleasing. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You cannot get back to your true self people pleasing. I'm going to pause. So, what's going to happen with you when you start this process of really trying to get back to your true self? You're going to start feeling uncomfortable around some people that make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to start feeling uncomfortable. You're going to be like, you know what? I don't feel right around you. And this will happen in every area of your life. So you want to release yourself from the views of the people that make you feel uncomfortable. Um, and this is going to be hard if the relationship that you built with that person was based on your false self. This is going to be hard if the relationship that you built with that person was built on your false self. So, the thing about friends that I've learned in my life is that when you make changes or when you rediscover yourself or when you get back to your true friends accept it. Your people who are not really your true friends, they don't accept it. They reject it. You know, people reject things that they can't control. They reject things that they can't put in a box. So once you start being your authentic self and nobody can put you in a box, then you're going to see who's your real friends. So you want to make sure that you are actively conscious of how you're feeling and around people, and then letting go of the limited views of people, especially if you're a person who is sensitive to words. I know a lot of adults who are sensitive to words, and that's probably connected to their childhood. So if people are saying things to you and they're limiting beliefs, don't take them on. Just because somebody spits out a limiting belief in your direction, it doesn't mean you have to catch it and put it in your pocket. Do not catch those limiting beliefs and put them in your pocket. If somebody spits out a limiting belief, dodge. Okay? Dodge. It's like, I know you're saying that, but I'm not receiving that. My friends laugh at me because if somebody says something I don't like, I'd be like, I don't receive that. I dodged that bullet. I'm not going to let you put your limiting beliefs on me or your limiting views about me. A lot of people have limiting views of you. Like for me, the limiting view that is constant in my life is like, oh, Lakisha, you're always happy and you always have yourself together. No, I don't. Who told you that? I'm not always happy and I don't always have myself together. That's a limiting view of me. So only my true friends know that. They know how I really am. So you want to release those limiting views of others. Release the roles that you were given in your family and in your social and cultural life. Release the roles that you were given in your own little system. In your personal system, release the roles. Some people were given the role as the black sheep. Some of us were given the role as the rescuer, the caretaker, the enabler. If these are not your authentic roles, release them. And release anybody who views you as such. Okay. And make a commitment to yourself that you will not be manipulated into living out old roles and familiar scripts. I like this. You will not be manipulated into living out old roles and familiar scripts. So people are going to try to manipulate you because they're not going to be happy that you're trying to make a stance for your true self, and they're going to try to manipulate you, and they're going to try to get you back to your old role, familiar scripts. You ever get around people you're uncomfortable around and the script starts to get familiar, you start to change the script? I'm just saying, don't get back to that. Release those limiting views. Number 10, this is the last one. Number 10, you are not obligated to play by people's rules. This is so good. You are not obligated to play by people's rules. And it says here, whatever the system cannot change, control, or accept, it will diminish, label, reject, and sometimes eject. I want to say that again, and then I'm going to break it down. Number 10 is you are not obligated to play by people's rules. And then it says, whatever the system, which is the people who gave you your persona, or you, if you gave your own self your false persona, whatever they or you cannot control, accept, or change, it will diminish, label, reject, and eject. So Reclaiming yourself is a heroic act. It takes courage. That's my new song now. It takes courage. Thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate you so much. It takes courage and heroism to stand against the system that wants to keep you down. Come on, y'all. I mean, this is, I love it. I love it because when you feel an obligation to live by people's rules, then you look at them as bigger than you. And when I say that God made all of us the same, all of us got two legs, two arms. Well, some of us don't, but all of us got bodies. All of us came from a mother, so all of us are the same. All of us, we wear clothes, we use the bathroom. So I can't live by anybody else's rules because you like me and I'm like you. You're not better than me. I'm not better than you. Okay. So I'm not going to live by your rules. Okay. Jeanette says, I have a lot to think about today. This was a good class. Thank you. You're so welcome, Janet. You are so welcome. So I hope you hold this process dear. I hope you go through this process on your own time and reclaim your true self that was lost in childhood. This is part of the science of happiness. The science of happiness is you are the most happy when you are your authentic self. So if you feel there are moments or there's situations or there's people or there's things that cause you to feel not your authentic self, I want you to challenge those things. I want you to ask yourself questions, and I want you to make a commitment and a decision to stand your ground when it comes to being who you truly originally were, your core essence. All right, you gonna do that for me? All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm getting off here. I know that was so much fun. Next Saturday, oh gosh, I won't be on here next Saturday. So I won't be here next Saturday because I have to travel again for work. But I'll definitely be here the Saturday after that. So, and we'll continue to talk about the science of happiness. Make sure you go to my website, successmywaycoaching.com. Go to successmywaycoaching.com to sign up for the virtual summer camp for July 24th at 7 p.m. because we're going to have a lot of fun being our authentic self, crafting and coloring. Sign up for that. Get ready for Success My Way Academy that's coming at the end of September. And yeah, I got some other stuff coming, but I'll just leave it at that. Also, check out my merch because I say this all the time. I'm just saying that's my little thing. That's why I put that on my shirt. So you can buy this on my YouTube channel. Just go to the shop. You can also buy this mug. So yeah, get all the things. Angie says, I love that one. I am passionate about that. No one is above anyone. Yes, Angie. We are all human, like you said, with 2 days, 2 hours. Yes, absolutely. See you then. Yay, Janet. You do say that. Yes. I'm just saying. Hi, Alma. Thank you. Came in a little late, but thanks, Angie. I picked up points. Miss. Oh, thanks, Alma. Thanks for joining. All right, everybody. Y'all know what I'm about to say. It's Self-Love Saturday. I'm excited. What are you all doing today? So I can tell y'all about me. My 25th wedding anniversary is Monday. So we are planning a fun weekend. I'm also finishing painting my cabinets, which has been a project that has been tearing my back up, actually. I'm working muscles that I normally don't work painting the cabinets, but I'm so excited about doing it. The kitchen looks really good so far. I'm almost done. So if I can get my body through a day or two more of painting, because I can feel it back here, y'all. I can definitely reveal that my kitchen. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing today, but it gotta be for you. Today is your day to not be selfish, but to be selfless. selflessly go out there and do something fun. Do something with your authentic self today, y'all. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Angie. Have a great weekend. Be blessed. And until next time, make sure you always have success your way, because if you don't claim it, somebody else will. All right. Thanks, friends. Love you much. Bye, friends.